Welcome back to the Mental Health Matchmaker, the podcast from Building Bridges Psychotherapy, where we sit down with therapists for candid, conversational episodes that explore their perspectives, experiences, and unique approach to therapy. In this episode, I introduce you to Meeraa, a registered therapist who supports individuals, couples, and families navigating life transitions, relationship challenges, depression, identity, and feelings of guilt and shame. Much of our conversation explores what it feels like to grow up balancing different cultural expectations while trying to figure out who you really are. We talk about people-pleasing, perfectionism, the pressure to perform, and how shame can influence the way we see ourselves. Meeraa also shares why reconnecting with your authentic self isn't about becoming someone new, but rather uncovering the version of yourself that's been there all along. Let's get into it. Okay, Meeraa, you feeling ready?
I am.
Amazing. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
I want to dive in to the topic of shame. I feel like this is a big word. I think maybe there are many ways we could approach it, whether it's cultural shame or shame in a different way. So when clients come to you and they want to dive into this topic, what does that often look like?
Yeah, you're totally right. It could look like a lot of different things. Some people come in thinking like, hey, like I did something wrong. And they're like, oh my gosh, I did this, this, and this. And that makes me like this kind of person, right? Coming into therapy, they'd be like, oh my gosh, like I did this. I'm such a bad person. And it's like, just because you did something wrong, it doesn't identify who you are as a whole, right? It was just maybe who you are in that moment. Culturally speaking, there's so much shame, especially for me, like I can also personally relate to it coming from like a collectivist household as well, and coming from a house where there are certain expectations that are set for you from like your parents, from society, from your culture, right? And it's like if you don't meet those standards, it's like, okay, like you're shamed. For example, like a girl should be quiet, and in Tamil, so I speak Tamil, so they say like arakorakam, it's like prim and proper. A girl should be prim and proper. She shouldn't be like spreading her legs out like this, right? Like sitting like comfortably and casually. We're always told like how to like be a certain way, and it's like if we're anything like against it, it's like why are you like that? It's like you should be like this way, right? And it makes you think like, oh my gosh, like am I doing something wrong? But you're not doing something wrong. It's just you're doing something. You're bridging your own gap for yourself, basically. You're bridging your own way for yourself, I should say.
Right. I feel like shame in general can be a really isolating emotion to sit with.
Yeah.
And then adding the cultural component onto it when you care about belonging to the place that you're from, to the people that you're around, that sounds like another level of isolation, and to carry that feeling of shame and not really knowing where to put it or how to dissect it or how to approach it in general. That sounds overwhelming.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, belonging, right? Because we all want to belong somewhere. We want to feel accepted for who we are. Now, like with this shame, it's like what we do determines who we are. Okay, if you sit this way or if you speak this certain type of way, then that must mean then that you're this type of person, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now you're like ostracized by your community for it.
Yes. How does therapy help with that? Like, what do you experience with your clients?
Yeah, when people come in with the shame, it's like, let's give a voice to it. Give it some, like, fresh air. It's like, when you're stuck in the house and everything feels all, like, foggy, right? And then you open the windows, and it's like, fresh air.
Yes. Yeah, there's movement.
There's movement.
It's not just, like, stuck and stagnant.
Yeah. A lot of times, like, the clients that come in, they feel that shame, and they just want to push it away. They want to pretend like it never happened. They just want to forget about it. And then as time goes on, it's like something that keeps calling your name in the back of your head. It's like, hey, you did this, remember that? And it attaches to your identity, right? And then people think that this is who I am now, right?
Right. I am bad, or I'm not good enough.
Yeah. I'm not good enough. And it's this like a narrative that people tell themselves because of this like one action.
And if they're being told culturally by all these different voices, if they don't follow this way of being, that they are wrong or bad, it would be a lot to open that up, right? Because that might mean changes need to happen, or maybe you embracing whatever it is that's inside you that feels truer. It might be different than how you've lived your life. It might mean that you have to make adjustments or break out of this mold that you've been in, and that can be really scary.
Yeah. Like, it takes a lot of courage. It's like all your ghosts and all your shadows have like come in, and they're just like, hey, how's it going? We're still here.
Can you give a more specific example of what shame could look like? Like, what's something that someone comes to you and they are actually ashamed of?
Yeah. I mean, the way that they communicate to their partner, right? Their partner is someone that they love dearly.
Yeah.
Right? And in the moment of anger, they say something that maybe they don't really mean, right? But now they're in therapy to help themselves with that, how to communicate better, right?
Yeah.
And hey, like, we've all been there.
I was just going to say those exact words. We have all been there.
We've all been there maybe more than once, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it exists in all of us, right? It exists in me, it exists in you, right? You know what? Like, sometimes I self-disclose a little bit just to like find it therapeutically beneficial, right? Just like normalizing it and saying like, you know what? You just did that like 2 weeks ago.
Yes, exactly.
You know, and there's also so much like humility in that, like as a therapist as well. And like when your clients kind of see, like, I'm not a different creature, right? It's
Which
like,
would add to the shame, right? When we're keeping this
Exactly.
inside,
yeah,
we're not understanding that I'm not the only one who's felt this way before. I'm not the only one who's said something or done something or reacted in a certain way that I'm embarrassed by. There are other people who've been there. It makes it feel a little lighter.
yeah,
Just a
you're
little.
making it more human. You were either caught at like a bad moment, or you weren't, taught the tools on how to do this, or you've never experienced something like this before. There's like so many different things. Maybe you were lonely and tired that day. Maybe you were starving that day and made you react like who knows, right? Not to say that that's an excuse, but it's like now they're here and they're willing to take that accountability, right?
What could that look like when they're on the other end of that work?
With me, like, I use cognitive behavioral therapy. I mean, along with like, person-centered and emotional focused therapy as well, but focusing on like the thoughts, right? And like, okay, like we're here to, like, for me, it's important that we are also making change as well. In some sessions, like, we need to vent it out as well.
Right.
It also gives it just like room to breathe. And it's like, sometimes there's nothing to change. It's just like venting it out and sitting with what you actually said and how that makes you feel.
I feel like a lot of people, we should need to land that point. I feel like a lot of people, including myself, need to hear that.
Yeah.
There's so much value in a session where you're just pouring it out.
Yeah.
Without having a clear next action step, right?
For sure. And then it's like sometimes like I'll get clients who like pour everything out in a session. In the next session you come back, it's like, and then you feel that shame.
Right.
For being so vulnerable.
The vulnerability hangover.
Vulnerability hangover. Yeah, it's a real thing.
It is.
It's a real thing. And it's like, oh man, did I just disclose that about myself? Like, how am I going to like face being in this room? What does like my therapist think of me now? Right?
And what do you think of them?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, I think, we're all human.
Exactly.
Right? And what you experience, I experience. What I experience, you experience. We all experience a variety of emotions, right? And feelings and thoughts.
Yeah.
Right? But not all of the thoughts that we have are true.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact that you can realize that is like who you are. Right? Like you're observing those thoughts.
But and I love also that that's why therapy is like this safe container to go there, because on the other end, the person that you're talking to, your therapist, they're not judging you.
No.
And so even if you come back and you're like, I feel like I overshared last time, that you're validating like, yeah, that's normal. You've probably never said these things out loud.
Yes.
And I'm still here and I'm not judging you. And then that's how this safety and this like continuous relationship and this like softening can happen into continuing to tell your truth, even if there's parts of it that you're not necessarily proud of.
Yeah. Sometimes it makes me like tear up. The therapeutic relationship is just so beautiful. When you see something in the room just between like you and me, it's like hand in hand together, walking towards like wherever you want to go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I feel like I could get very philosophical here, but I'm gonna
For sure.
stop
Me too.
myself because I do want to. I mean, we'll probably go there at some point, but I do want to sort of switch gears, and I feel like it's a very natural segue talking about the authentic self. I feel like authenticity is a word that has become like a buzzword. What does it mean? And why is it important for people to feel like they can reach that level of authenticity within themselves?
Yeah, that's a great question. People wear masks all the time. They wear it at work. They wear it at home. They wear it with their friends. They wear it walking down the street, right? And when you get home, you wash your makeup off, you braid your hair at night, put it in a bonnet, and then it's like there. You're just looking at your face naked. And then you see, it's just like sigh of relief. It's like, now I can be who I am. Well, that's exhausting.
Right.
Right? It's like you can be yourself finally when you go to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And like for me, but for the longest time, for so much of my life, like I really like suppressed a lot of emotions. Anger, sadness. I was very, very scared to actually like even like own my anger. And I would always tell myself, I just need to be grateful. Even on my worst days, I'd be grateful for like the littlest things. Like I'm grateful for like this kettle giving me like boiling water. It was like the most like insane
You really have
thing.
to stretch yourself.
And that's how you know, right? And I'm like giving you this like example because it's like, oh my God, like relax. There's a time for gratitude. And I think gratitude is so great.
Yeah.
And it's also what keeps me going. But man, in that moment, in that phase of my life, all I needed to like accept was that I am so in the dumps right now. And I am so furious right now. And I need to talk about this and I need to like let this loose.
Yeah. And yes, I am grateful for this boiling water that's going to give me this calming tea, but that calming tea is not going to solve this shitty thing that I'm going through, right?
Exactly.
Both things are true. Yeah.
Yeah. And like just because like, you know, it's like the gratitude, you can't use it to mask the feelings that you don't want to feel.
This is like already taking me back to shame because it's like that shame becomes a block and a wall where then we can't access the authentic part of us that is angry, which is, by the way, a human emotion. Like, and we're human. We're meant to experience it, right? So when someone comes into the therapy space and they're like, I feel like I have to put on a mask to exist. How can you start to get to a point in their journey where they're starting to feel comfortable taking that off more?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say like there's different types of masks, right? There's like a perfectionist mask, right? Like trying to be perfect all the time, trying to like do more. Even when you're doing it, it's like you still don't feel like it's good enough and you have to keep tweaking it and tweaking it and tweaking it. There's the rebel. They don't want to follow any of the rules and just like it can't be tamed. Imagine like a fire that's just like untamed. It's like you're burning through the forest.
Right.
And we also don't want that. So there's different types of masks that people wear. Why are you wearing that mask? Right? Like, how does this show up in your daily life? And this is how we start unraveling the mask. A lot of the core beliefs that, you know, I see in people, it's just like, I'm not enough. Where did that come from? How will you know, like, when is enough? Or, like, what is enough? Right? And, like, for example, speaking about work, people say, like, you can't be yourself. Right? And I do this thing where I say like Friday funnies. I like, you know, drop a joke because that's who I am, right? I have that like little goofy personality and like I like to make jokes and crack jokes. I love laughing, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I'm inadequate at my job. I can be a jokester and I can still be so good at what I do. They don't have to be separate from each other. I can be all of it and so can you.
Not everything needs to be so rigid. Like you said, I can be this and this and this, holding all these truths.
Yes.
Tapping into all these versions of ourselves.
Yes.
And one thing I like wanted to start laughing, but maybe it's like a dark humor thing because when you said like, where did this come from? This feeling of not feeling like enough. And it's often, I mean, tied into our individual stories. There's so many ways that we can start to attach to this belief. But then also this reminder that's very important, and I need to remind myself of this often, that like we live in a world that sort of profits off of us never feeling like enough.
Yeah.
I was watching something where they talked about women being made to feel almost beautiful. Like they're really close, but they're not there yet. People make money off of us feeling inadequate. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And we're taking it in all the time, whether we friggin' like it or not.
Yeah.
And for myself, therapy has been this great way to be able to go into a space and just exist.
Yeah. You go, Brooke. Mic drop right there.
I wish I could drop the mic.
Please don't. We have to adjust it again.
Don't worry, Justin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, of course. Because like every time I open my phone, every time I go on the internet and some ad pops up, it's like everything is an ad nowadays. People should do like what feels true for them. I think like most importantly, like people should do like what they feel like nourishes them. However, like it's like when they get to these drastic measures, sometimes it's like, okay, like, you know, why do you feel that way? Like, why do you feel like, okay, this needs to like happen? Or why do you feel like this is not enough? Why do you feel like this needs to be changed? Why do you feel like you need to get this next outfit, this next product? Why? Why? And it's also like belonging too. And it goes back to the belonging. So it's like, okay, like my friend has this and my neighbor has that. And like my whole social circle has this.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense that I have that. Does it? It's like sit back for it. Does it?
I know.
How do we like connect back to our inner selves while there's so much noise in the world?
Yeah.
That's where I like to just like tap into your inner child.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, inner child. Shifting us into the topic of like play and playfulness.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is so fitting for you and this energy that you give off when you walk into a room, which I mean is like such a compliment. You have such a lovely energy.
Thank you.
So tell me about this area of your life. And you might need to tell everyone about the trampoline thing you've been doing.
Yeah, so I got a trampoline, y'all. And it's supposed to like actually help with like moving your body, right? There's emotion like stuck in your body, right? And for people who can actually intellectualize their emotions, okay, like this is what I'm feeling. This is why I'm feeling this way, X, Y, and Z. It's like I still feel this way in my chest. I still feel this way in my stomach and everything like that. And it's like, when is the last time like you really opened up your body, right? Opened up your chest, right? Like maybe you're going to the gym, maybe you're working out, maybe you're lifting weights, maybe you're going on a walk, but it's like really big open movements. And even just doing this while sitting down.
I know, I'm feeling a little energized like, watching you
right?
do that. Yes.
It's like, I want you to do this. And it's like, woo! It's like you feel this like openness already. And I'm not even on the trampoline right now.
Yeah, it's like you're taking up space.
You're taking up space. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And you're telling your body, like, it's okay. It's okay to take up space. You know, wiggle around. Yeah. Right? And so I've been doing this every morning and just kind of like jumping around, wiggling around, being goofy. And I record myself and let the world watch. Yeah. Even then, sometimes still, like, I catch myself, right? Because I'm like being really, really goofy sometimes. And then I catch myself. I'm like, I want to just be like goofier and I want to like fully let loose. But I'm like, why am I not letting myself do that? And so people probably think like, yeah, like this girl is like going off, right? Right. She's letting loose, but there's still that part. It's like, I feel like I can let loose a little bit more, right? And a lot of people think like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be perceived as like weird if I do this. I'm going to be perceived as like unprofessional. Why?
Who taught us this boring stuff?
Yeah, where do these narratives come from, right? And it's like we are meant to like fit in a box. So I love connecting with that inner child, right? It's like that inner child, when I think of like my inner child, like she loved like dancing around and like, you know, making jokes and just like being all like goofy, right? And it's like, okay, like how can we just kind of like tap into that, right? Especially like, I mean, think about like a regular person's day, right? Maybe they're waking up, rushing to work, getting to work, clock in, clock out.
Put their mask on.
Put their mask on.
So cool.
Exactly, right? And it's like, you're telling me to connect with my inner child when I have like all this to do?
Yeah.
Right?
My inner child wouldn't want to be doing this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what are like small pockets of like moments that you have though in your day? Maybe it's watching like a short clip of like a comedy, going out on the grass and just laying there. Right?
What do you think your inner child needed to hear the most?
I feel like mine would be like, it's okay to like be emotional.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Because as like a kid, like I used to cry a lot. And even like growing up, like as an adult, like I get told a lot, like, why are you so sensitive?
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Sensitivity is such a gift.
Yeah. And so it like helps me like, connect with the clients
Yes.
in a totally different way.
Beautiful. Okay. You are located in Mississauga.
Yes. And virtually.
Well, thank you so much for this conversation.
It was a pleasure being here. Oh,
Good.
man. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Meeraa.
Thank you, everyone.
That's it for this deep dive episode. If this conversation resonated with you, we'd love for you to follow the podcast or share it with someone who might find it helpful. See you next time.